Yo, we back with another quarantine edition podcast.
Isolation.
Oh man, episode 37.
Yep.
They got me in the dungeon, bro. You see,
I see, man.
they got me in the dungeon. Yeah, man. So I'm recording live from the garage.
Sequestered, boy.
Yeah, I was like, goodness gracious. It's like,
Man.
what's
going on with
this brother? Ed, he in the attic? Basically.
They got you between the dryer and the washer.
In between the washer and dryer, boy. It's been rough over here.
For real.
It's all right, though. I'm living. Still standing. Strong.
Way to do it, man. Best way to do it. What's been going on with you, bro?
Man, I'm hanging tough, surviving without sports, surviving without being able to go outside.
Yeah.
Warming up, brother ready to go frolic. Ready to...
You gonna frolic and you got a +1 and some.
Oh, no, not like that. I just want to be outside. That's all. I just want to...
Frolicking for the brothers like me,
She watched the show. Don't be getting me in trouble now.
I go out and frolic.
No,
I don't know about fronting, man. Because somebody gonna hear that and hit
Lord. Yeah, let's start this over. Cut the tape. Talking about my head being in between the washer and dryer. It's finna get real.
For real. Be up there trying to get the virtual date right, man.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, everything good. Just trying to maintain, it still feel weird. I ain't used to the whole life yet. I ain't used to still not having sports. This is weird, but maintaining. It is what it is.
That's true. The only thing we can do is cope, man. That's all we can do.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we ain't got no choice until Lori Lightfoot say, yeah, y'all can come back outside.
Y'all can come play now.
y'all love punishment. Go ahead. Bring me back.
No, but for real, we gotta stay in the crib, man. I think I sent this to you, or maybe I put it on Facebook. That the disproportionate amount of
I did
deaths between black, brown, and white. So for those that don't know, this is the Wrap Up Podcast. I'm Stephen. To the left of me is Fresh. So we live in Chicago. So they released a report where 68, now I believe it's 72% of black and brown people have died, whereas it's 11% for Caucasian white people here in the city. That's wild.
It's crazy.
That's wild.
It's over like 2,000 confirmed deaths when you total up black and Hispanics. I think blacks account for like 1,800, and I think it's like a little over 1,800, and then I think it was about 700 or 800 for Hispanics. So the numbers are scary. The numbers are staggering. It's proof that we're not as mindful as we need to be. I mean, statistics prove it. There's no other way around it. Prove it. One of my homies was posting up on Facebook, and he was driving outside. He went down to 9. He went down like 71st, and everybody outside.
Man.
And don't get me wrong. It's nothing wrong with being outside. So outside and you going for a jog, or you go outside
within reason,
backyard, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, but these is people congregating. They linking up, they outside having a good time, like everything's safe. And more proof in the statistics is 21 or 22 people were shot just yesterday. 7. So that lets you know, like, as soon as it broke 70, we went outside. And I mean, look, I want to be outside too. I just got through saying I want the frolic. But look, I understand the dangers. I understand the magnitude of what we're dealing with. And please, 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 if you're listening, just stay inside. And
we as a people, we just have to be smart in general, because our affordance, if you will, doesn't allow us to be able to go into the hospital and be seen right away, just because of how it is set up systemically. So for us, we're already behind the 8 ball in healthcare. So if they're telling you to do these things to protect everyone else, to lower the curve, to even out the curve, do it. Cats were playing a full-on 11-on-11 football game.
Football. I saw that. I saw that. And it's like, yo, I understand. I'd like to be able to go outside and hoop or play football or whatever. I mean, but yo, in the comfort of your own home, that's fine. But you talking about, I was outside this weekend playing football with my kids.
I saw you.
But we was quarantined.
I was gonna say something about it, but I let you laugh, man.
Wasn't nobody playing with us. It was just us. Wasn't nobody else back there. It's just me and the kids in the backyard. We ain't got nothing else to do. I mean, but you're talking about these cats met up at the park full 11-on-11.
11-on-11. In
the same house. And the cops came and broke that up. I did see that.
And I heard they got citations, and some were given a down, like a straight rack was the fine.
Yeah, I seen that, man. That's rough. I mean, but you got to understand that you're not just putting yourself at danger. When you go home, you put others at danger. When you go to the grocery store, you're putting even more people at danger.
Yep.
You know, it's a steep fine, but in my opinion, it's warranted.
It's warranted.
It's a warranted ticket. You know, you just got to bite the bullet. You got to eat that one.
I hear that.
Man. So yeah, everybody be mindful of what's going on in the world with the COVID-19 and coronavirus and all of that. And I said be mindful, not necessarily just watch the news, because the news don't always feed you details that we need. So I'm not telling people to watch the news. I'm telling you to be mindful. I much rather go and research. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna be completely honest. I try to not necessarily tap into the news, or I take tidbits of what I will what I'm gonna digest, because let's be real, the news still has a motive. The news still has an agenda.
Yeah.
It's always not geared towards us. But that's a whole nother wrap-up topic. So
You're right.
Into that.
You're right.
But just be mindful of what's going on out there. Definitely do your due diligence, read, research, formulate your own opinion, and then most of all, be safe. That's the main thing.
Word.
Yeah, man. But you know, it's even during quarantine, where we're supposed to be cooped up in the house. It's the news don't stop for nobody. And I'm talking about ratchet news, sports news, all of that.
Yeah, ratchet news.
We gonna start. The
ratchets do not sleep, man. Nor do they slumber in their quest for infinite ratchetness. Oh man!
The internet gives them the best device ever.
For real.
Being able to just put your face out there and ratchet for the world to see. And NBA YoungBoy gave us our ratchet moment of the week.
But was it really him, or was it?
Yeah, it was him, man.
Okay.
So no. All right. So it depends on what we're talking about. Are we talking about the alleged stabbing, or are we talking about his little Facebook or Instagram live video rant? Because that was the ratchetness to me.
Let's put that all together.
The stabbing could be considered ratchet.
We can put that all together. There's subcategories of his ratchet moment from the last weekend.
Subcategories of ratchetness. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, so NBA YoungBoy is dating Floyd Mayweather's daughter, if I'm getting this right. Because forgive me, I don't tune into the ratchets as often as I should. But this one was too good to pass up. He's dating NBA YoungBoy. NBA YoungBoy is dating Floyd Mayweather's daughter.
Yeah,
Ayanna. And apparently there was an altercation. Now, and what stemmed of this altercation was somebody getting stabbed and arrested. Now, fill me in the spots if I'm wrong or whatnot. But so was it Ayanna who got stabbed or almost got stabbed?
Ayanna stabbed whoever the chick was that was with I'm gonna say YoungBoy with YoungBoy.
Okay.
So what happened from the story that I read, allegedly, she knocked on the door, said other woman opened the door, And
other woman. You know she didn't say other woman over the door.
Mayweather then declined to ask other woman, why are you in the spot with my fiance? Now, I didn't know they was engaged, but that's what she called them at the time. He in the back chilling with the fellas, whatever. So somehow Miss Mayweather found herself not in the front door any longer. She's in the kitchen now.
Yeah, she made her way. She forced entry. Yeah, add this to the felonies.
Yeah, she's in the kitchen now. So in the midst of being in the kitchen, the same argument that happened while she was outside continues to happen indoors. And asking, why are you here with my fiance? Went to the kitchen, while she's in the kitchen rather, pulled out a knife, stabbed her one time. That wasn't enough. He went back, grabbed another knife.
Can you ever just stab once?
No, you know, she Ernie Banks her, you know what I'm saying? How about two? So she gave her two. They played two that day. So she stabbed her twice. So she got arrested. She has charges on her. Young boy, of course, got arrested because he's the guy in the situation. So they had to bring him in for questioning. But
yeah.
Anyway, for her to be worth however much she is, I don't know what Floyd Jr. giving her.
Yeah.
My mind was blown. But one of my guys, Brandon, said something real slick. That Generation Z, no matter how much wealth they have, they find more validity in doing what the Ratchet does, even though they don't have to do it. But Ratchet is a mind state. It's not what it's.
That's a good point.
It's not a culture. It's becoming a culture. It's becoming cool. But it's been Ratchet since yonder years. It's been Ratchets. But just the height of Ratchet, of course, has expanded since multimedia and social media and all of that stuff. But you was just thinking Floyd Mayweather. But you know what? I'm not going to even jump on it because you don't know what the heart told her to do at that moment. I'm a devil's advocate.
I'm going to jump on her. That is a toxic-ass relationship.
I'm not the devil's advocate, huh, man?
No, it just can't. No, that is... So after all of that, this is the part that I saw and not really like... This is the part that really threw me through a loop. Is when Young Boy got on some sort of social media and started doing his rant with his video.
Yeah.
He said, it's profanity-laced rant. Children watch this show, so I won't get into the details. Yeah. But he basically wakes Shorty up, Ayana, and he was like, Ayana, wake up. He wake up out of sleep, her ponytail all over her head, looking all crazy and whatnot. And he's like calling Floyd Mayweather all kind of B's and saying that he don't take nothing from him. And she just in the back like shaking her head and agreeing to it. First of all, how can you let this man talk about your father like that? And she said nothing, not a word, like it didn't even faze her. Like she didn't, it was nothing there. So this is when it really got ratchet to me, is like the level of disrespect that, I mean, if this is your fiance, you love her or whatever, unless Floyd Mayweather done something to you personally, unless he didn't hurt you or disrespected you or something, I don't see any reason why he would go to the lengths of verbal abuse that he's handing out. Especially against a man who 50, what is he, 50-0, 51-0 in the ring? You don't want no problems, little fella.
I don't know if they're estranged either, so they may be estranged because of how she want to live. I don't know, but still.
Could be. That's true. But even still, man, you got to know your place. And it ain't even about Floyd Mayweather being a boxer and all of that. It's just that we just talking about bare minimum. We talking about respect. Yeah. And again, there's caveats to this relationship that we don't know. Maybe he's been disrespectful before, or maybe, he just maybe they never had that type of relationship. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But that's when ratchet hit the fan for me, is when he went on live and woke Shorty up out her sleep just to talk bad about her daddy. Like, you couldn't wait till she was awake. Like, he came and it was terrible. Right. Man, listen. That was some of the funniest but saddest TV that I've seen in a while. I was like, it was ugly to watch, but I couldn't turn away. I was like, wait a minute.
About Ratchet, man, it's captivating, man. It grabs you. It holds.
It is.
It's great cinema.
Because you don't expect nobody to act stupid like that.
Not at all.
I mean, let's get real. We all have our moments where it's just like, man, I shouldn't have did that, or I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
But I don't have moments like this.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna just be caught on camera doing something that stupid. I mean, and it's like he sounded dumb. He got this cigarette in his hand and he's just making him look worse. He looked like an old mechanic. He looked like an old mechanic. I'll fix your brakes for $38. You feel me?
Now, let me tell you about your daddy.
It was terrible. It was terrible. But I couldn't stop watching. I couldn't turn away.
I guarantee you they not quarantined. You can't tell me.
No. Not at all. They probably got COVID-19 right now. Don't even know it.
Man, symptoms.
And some more stuff. I mean, they got rumors. They said the boy got STDs. I don't know.
Yeah.
COVID-19 probably on the list too.
God forbid, but
yeah, plausible. If it came out today, breaking news, NBA YoungBoy has COVID-19, I'm gonna text you like, Steph, I told you. I knew it.
How you know?
I got to type with 2 thumbs like a sidekick. I knew it. I told her.
Like he had all the symptoms. He was delirious.
Oh man, it's funny, but it's not funny, but it's still funny.
It's funny.
Oh man, absolutely ridiculous, man. But yeah, we gotta pray for our youth, man. Pray for our youth.
As they need it in a big way, in a special way. Boy, they going down the alcohol. What they saying, Juice? You sliding down a razor blade into an alcohol river?
Oh man. That's basically it. Cause I mean, like, yo, come on, bro. I don't understand. I don't understand. I take that back. It's not for us to understand.
That's true.
Like you said, Ratchet has been around for generations and generations, but the way in which they project their ratchetness because of social media and all of these other outlets they got is totally different for them.
Yeah.
All we could do is pray and tune in because tuning into the next episode of Ratchet TV. I got my limits, but yeah, I'm gonna watch the next one. Oh man, but still sticking with music, but on a more sad note, we did lose the brother Bill Withers, man.
Oh man, yeah.
Bill Withers over the weekend. He was, to my knowledge, he was sick already. This was not COVID-19 related. But Bill Withers was he was an amazing artist, a very soulful dude. And he gave us some dope hits, which turned into some great samples for sure.
In his own right, he had dope hits.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Oh, absolutely. He has backyard barbecue hits.
Yeah.
To this, I don't care how old you are, how young you are. When Lovely Day come on,
yep,
I'm bumping it. Yo, so he was special, man. He was definitely special. Rest in peace to Bill Withers. And it's been some good samples. Obviously his original music was amazing. I don't want to feel like the samples was great and his original music wasn't. His original music was really dope. I was watching a documentary about him and he never really wanted to be famous.
Yeah, he didn't.
He just kind of stumbled into the fame.
Mm-hmm.
Even his, when he first even started getting big, he was still working, I think I don't know if it was like a custodian or a janitor or something like that.
Something that you would consider beneath him depending upon his status and who he was.
Yeah, he was just a regular guy. He always wanted to come across as just being a regular guy. Even he started to get that critical acclaim, and he started getting, gold and platinum records. He still wanted to just be a regular guy. He was never really captivated with the fame like that. And I think that's another thing that was that gave him that allure, that he just felt like a regular dude, who was extremely talented, but it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel like like he was just like he wasn't a gimmick. He didn't seem very.
And his music has
very down to earth.
Every song that I heard of his had a message and meaning to it.
All the time.
More of a hit to make money. It all has some kind of conscious flow to it. And if the money came, great, but he stayed true to his message, which is dope. A lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, and that's the best part about it, man, is he was always very true. He never, sometimes when that gravy train ain't running in no more, you feel the need to try to switch up or be gimmicky or try to go to whatever's new and whatever's in or whatever is the hip move. He never did that. He stuck to what he knew. You could tell that his roots was in the church. He always had that very soulful, righteous, spiritual kind of feel. Again, he's a legend because he'll always be remembered in his music. So Bill Withers is gonna live on forever, man.
And even you touched on it a little bit earlier, but you didn't go into it. Even some of the samples that he did in the hip hop universe from Eminem's, I just got a list up here. Eminem's, Just the Two of Us, 97, Bonnie and Clyde, DMX, Sunshine, Eric being Rakim in the Ghetto, Cameron and Make, Horse and Carriage. So he's been sampled widely by Tupac, by Big, by Twista, recently J. Cole, Kendrick, Swiss Beats, Nas, Still Dreaming with the Kanye production. So he has his name is synonymous in the hip hop culture with James Brown, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
Sampling.
Yeah. I mean, I'd probably say like James Brown and Michael Jackson. He's got everybody sampled Bill Withers. So my personal favorite was DMX, Ain't No Sunshine.
Yeah, that was hard, boy.
That's my favorite Bill Withers sample. That was amazing. I'm a huge DMX fan, so it just fit for me. But yeah, man, we lost another legend, and it hurts, but his music is gonna live on.
We lost today. Who do we lose to? From I think it was Black Enterprise. Earl was it Graves? Earl Graves, I think that's his name. He passed.
Really?
Yeah. I think. Let me check.
Wow, I didn't even know that. Yeah, we got to check the Googles. Check the Googles on that one. I didn't know.
Yeah, Earl Graves. See, not today. It was the 6th. I knew it was this week somewhere in there. He passed away on the on the 6th. So for those that don't know, Earl Graves, Black Enterprise founder, prominent magazine, and For the Culture, business magazine, passed away.
Yeah, I had no clue. And you said the 6th. Wow. So I'm a little on that.
Yeah, so shout out to Earl Graves too. Earl Graves and Bill Withers, Black legends, man.
Yeah.
Black legends.
I was too busy watching Ratchet TV. Missed out on Mr. Graves passing away.
That's what they want us to do.
They got me. They got me.
They got you.
They got me. It's all right, man. I'm gonna bounce back. But man, still sticking with the music. Although
heavy.
Huh?
I said we music heavy, man. It's been a while.
We have, you know what? And I'm glad because we gotta be, since it ain't much sports. I mean, we're gonna still find our way to sprinkle in some sports, but gotta be music heavy right now. It ain't nothing else spinning. All of the artists, they still got stuff stacked up, stocked away. Everybody just tossing out EPs right now. Yeah. Did you check out? Well, you sent me to Griselda. You sent me Conway. Yeah, the Lulu EP.
Lulu, yeah.
Yeah, it was decent. It was decent.
If you like Conway, you'll like it. It's not too good for the past, you know.
Not his best, but
I haven't checked
definitely
out.
not his worst.
Who?
It was cold. I liked it. But the quarantine battles is what I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
Quarantine battles.
How many have we had so far?
Oh man.
3?
6? No, more than 3.
Really?
We had Timbaland and Swiss.
What's the kickoff? That was the jump off, right? So we had Timbaland and Swiss.
We had Timbaland and Swiss, T-Pain, Lil Jon. We had Hit Boy and Boy Wonder. We had who else?
Oh, Dream and Sean Garrett.
Scott Storch. Right, Sean Garrett.
And Dream.
Sean Garrett and Dream. Scott Storch and Manny Fresh.
Yeah.
So we didn't had about 5.
Yeah, 5.
Extremely entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. What I don't want them to do, and it seems like they're going that route, and I hope I'm wrong, is they're going to start to commercialize this. And I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want to, if Swiss, what you telling us is that this is for the people, this is for the culture, zone. Yeah. That's what I want to keep. I want to keep it at that. Keep it at the culture. Because now they're starting to talk about, I don't want it to be about the views. I don't want it to be about, obviously you want the fans to vote, and that's what we're going to do. I want this to remain as organic as possible. Yeah. That's why, in my opinion, still the 2 best ones so far is not even of this crop of 5 that we just got. But let's remember, this all started like a year or 2 ago with Swiss versus Just Blaze.
Yeah.
And to me, that's still been the best one because it was so organic. And they was both in the same room. That's probably one reason why it's a little bit above the rest, in my opinion. And I probably got a little bias with, just my favorite producers. So yeah.
But whenever they pull out this, last week it was supposed to be Babyface and Teddy Riley. Whenever they pull that suck out, I was on the phone talking to somebody, and I told her, I said, yo, when they play that Bobby Brown mix, that's all they need. First 2 albums of Bobby Brown and the first album of Johnny Gill,
it's a wrap. But then my thing is I think they only gonna get him like 20 tracks. You can't give
Babyface 20 tracks.
You cannot get him 20 tracks. 20 tracks. You might have to give him a couple hours. You can't even put it.
I agree.
Don't put a track limit on it, because they did that with Scott Storch and Manny.
That's why that vibe didn't feel right to me, man.
It's starting to get real commercialized.
Yeah.
And now they have like the verses page.
Yeah, I saw that.
Don't take away from the authenticity of it. Mm-hmm. This is real organic. This is real culture. This is real hip hop. This is real R&B. And I don't want to stray too far away from the reason that this is great and the reason that you have 100 and 200,000 people tuning in is because it's organic. This is going to, if you do this, it's going to be just like URL battle rap and the way that got watered down.
I hope it doesn't go that way. And
it got way too
having anybody like the Hit Boy and Boy Wonder, even though they're successful, I don't think the way that it started, we should have threw them in right away. We should have kept it with the Babyface Teddy Riley. If we can get a Kanye and a Pharrell, which I would love to see. If we can get Terry Lewis against a Babyface, like if you kind of keep it, in the vibe and the essence of everything. But I know you got to hit all generations. That's fine.
Yeah.
But no, I can't say that because they did have enough hit to suffice for that amount of time that they were doing. They did. But it didn't seem like the music match. Like the Swiss was like, yo, you played that Beyonce? I'm going to play this Beyonce. They didn't have, because they work with different people, kind of, sort of.
And the catalog, like you said, the catalog is there for both of them. Both of them are extremely talented in their own right. But this versus battle works for the producers with a name attached. And there's no knock on Hit Boy, no knock on Boy Wonder. but they have the lowest rating so far in terms of view because of that. And it doesn't mean that they can't get that critical acclaim. They've worked with Beyonce. They've worked with Nipsey. They didn't work with T.I. And so they have monster hits under their belt, but they're not in the same light and in the same category as a Tim, as a Swiss, as a Teddy Riley, not even as a Sean Garrett or a Dream, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not saying that they can't get there, but it was they're not there yet. But ultimately, I'm still glad that we got it. I'm glad that we got that from them because they were it was dope. They still provided entertainment for me.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that I doubt we get a Pharrell Kanye, although it would be dope. I would love it, man. But if we can't, I would like to get Ninth Wonder in there against somebody.
I like that Ninth Wonder and Just.
Ninth Wonder and Just would be crazy. They got I don't want to say similar styles. They sample heavy. They worked with a lot of the same dudes.
Dude, if Jay Illa can get Dilla's catalog and go against Ninth, that'll be ridiculous, man. Yo, Illa, we need
Give me 5 hours. I need 5 hours. I need 5 hours. If we could get Dilla and Ninth, and as soon as they start playing Slum Village and Jamrock, it's over.
It's over.
I'm going crazy.
For real.
As soon as they start playing Jamla and Slum Village, it's through. It's through. I would love that, man. I would love it.
RZA, man, you got to get classics in this, man.
Yeah.
This is just Alchemist, even though it's kind of the same. They both got hit for the same.
That would be dope, though. That would be dope, though. Or like a Alchemist verse. I'd like to see an Alchemist verse Premier.
Yeah, I can do that.
Alchemist verse Premier,
something like that, man.
Yeah. That would be heavy.
Yeah.
That would be heavy. I'll be all over that one. That would be dope. But the verses battles have not disappointed. I definitely been rocking with them. So I hope they continue it. I just pray that they do not commercialize this thing, because the authenticity is the part and the reason why I tune in.
Yeah.
Speak for the other, 200,000 people who watching with me, but I tune in for the authenticity of it. I don't want to see them lose that. That's the part that's like super important to me.
Yeah.
But man, it's been fun to watch. And I know this Teddy Riley one, the Teddy Riley Babyface one, if we do get it,
man,
special. That might be the best one. If we get the best one,
that's a wrong time to have that mix. That mix in the midst of all this that's going on, boy.
That'd be.
I ain't gonna even get into it, man. I ain't gonna even get into it. Because you know me, man.
Yeah. Hey, we ain't gonna do nothing. We ain't gonna be doing nothing but messing each other the whole time. Like, why did that Jesus play the prerogative? Oh man. Yo, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. But yo, before we get up out of here and wrap it up, what you think about the NBA proposing this? Well, I shouldn't say proposing. It's set now. This horse challenge that they got going out. They're gonna set it up where they're gonna play horse. I think it's cool. You give me any kind of basket, I'm good.
I think it's dope. And we talk about this all the time, even a couple of years ago, about how Adam Silver and his cohorts just get it right. They just understand the climate. They understand the mood. They understand social media. They understand their audience. They just understand it all. And to have this type of, because they were already doing it, if you keep it funky, the players are already doing it. What I like about the horse thing is that it's now spawning to other sports. MLB is talking about doing a home run derby. So it's starting to filter out into, okay, we're in May, everything is subsiding. Can we open up the doors again for the players to play these games, no fans? So that everything is getting back in the rhythm, it feels like. So that's what I like about it. But if I had to choose who I think will win, I want to go with the homeboy, which is Zach LaVine, Chicago Bulls.
Yeah. But Zach LaVine is in it. That'll be dope.
I'm good. Steph's in it, right?
Yeah, I think it's Steph, Trae Young.
I saw Trae Young.
I think Chris Paul is in it.
Chris Paul is in it. It's between Steph and Chris Paul who I'm gonna take.
It's hard to count them out because they're such great shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Trae Young in that deep ball, Steph in that deep ball, because they hit it down, they knock it down on a consistent basis. That's gonna be hard. That's an automatic ladder right there.
But I hope they do is kind of segment it. You have the small guys and the big guys, so we can get those dunks, because it's not right to have Trae Young try to go up there and do a 360.
He already
off one leg, and he already said Zach the no dunking joint.
He said no dunking.
You know, so that kind of takes away from horse when you put stipulations in it. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, Steph can't shoot from the tunnel.
Right. You know? Yeah. So, don't give me no tunnel shots. You can't do nothing over 30 feet.
For real. So I hope they kind of break it down. Big man, small guard. Then I guess they can in the middle they can meet and have that layup contest, if you will. But
yeah,
I gotta have some dunks.
Yeah, that would be nice, man. Whatever they do, they already headed in the right direction to give us any type of basketball during this time. Once again, like you said, Adam Silver gets it right, man. It's when you put him in between a rock and a hard place, he still finds a way to win. So, again, hats off to the commish.
All. So that's all we got, man. The Zoom time is over. So once again,
man, Zoom got us on a budget.
Zoom quick. So everybody, follow the Wrap Up Podcast. Follow us on all things social media. YouTube for video, audio Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. That's it, right? No, Twitter. Yep. So follow us on all.
Twitter, Instagram, all that.
Follow Kasole. That's at Kasole Kicks for your sneaker needs. So follow Kasole. Follow Wrap Up Podcast. That's all we got.
Appreciate it, brother. Yes, sir. Holla at you. Peace.
Holla back, man.